was the court then, not the KPAC court, a court of justice. Now, these stories are important for those of us who still go to the court. Now, just to let you know, while I'm telling this story, a few things are happening in our country right now. The most serious is emergency rule. I was in Senegal for a meeting 2 weeks ago, meeting of the Media Foundation for West Africa. So while I was in the meeting, somebody rushed in and said, there's been a coup in Nigeria. So I rushed out. They were there speaking French, you know. He didn't quite hear the news. So I went out to find out. I then rushed back. No, it wasn't a coup. Emergency rule has been posted in one state, and they appointed an administrator. The president appointed. And they said, is the president unelected? I said elected. What of the governor? I said the governor is elected. How can he remove him? And then replace him with a retired soldier. Mr. Father, what kind of democracy is that? I was utterly embarrassed. Right? And I think Audiobe has made a point. Chief Audiobe. That by appointing a former military dictator to go and head a state, the government may be tempting soldiers to disrupt the entire exercise. Now, for lawyers, please, when you hear any lawyer defending emergency, I beg you, ask one question. What section of the Constitution, what section allows removal of the governor and deputy and then suspension of the legislature? Please ask, because this regime last year went to court to challenge the removal of governor of local government chairman and councillor by governors. And the Supreme Court was so hard by saying no governor has the power in Nigeria to remove elected chairman and councillor. And this regime was celebrating the judgment. Even though the Supreme Court even went off the track by amending the Constitution to please the executive. They rewrote section 162 of the Constitution, which stipulates that every month the statutory allocation of states of local government shall be paid into a state local government joint account. Supreme Court said no, that shall pay it directly. That judgment was delivered in July last year. As if they complied with? No. And they won't comply, if you must know. Now the point I'm making, Sunday, when you have a KPAC in power, that the judgments of court, particularly the Supreme Court, are treated with ignominy. Another case that will interest you currently. The NURTW had an election in August last year. Barua was re-elected. His opponents, like Barua, went to court, National Industrial Court. They lost. They went to the Court of Appeal. They lost. The Court of Appeal is the last court. It is the Supreme Court of Labour Matter. As I'm talking to you, as we're gathered here, Oluomo, not elected by either the members or the court. You know, court also elect people in the game. He's the one in the secretariat of that video today. Why Badawa is kept outside the secretariat? To take over that secretariat, they invaded the place theater and killed one here. Badawa was charged with killing the person in order to get him out of the office. So he and his officers were detained as murder suspects. So by the time they came out, the secretariat had been taken over and given to somebody who never won the election or won any case in court. The point I'm making, the regime chooses and picks whichever judgments it likes to comply with and obey. Now, I recently intervened with respect to the case of Natasha by saying that not less than 10 cases decided by Nigerian courts have heard that suspension of a legislator in Nigeria is illegal. Because once you do so, when you do so, you have denied the constituency representation in the parliament. That is the law. Mr. or Senator Godswill Akpabio was in the Senate under Dr. Bukola Saraki when in 2017 Senator Aliu Ndume was suspended. He went to court and won the case. Godswin Akpabio was also in the Senate when in 2018 Senator Olivier Omoagege was suspended. He went to court and won his case. In any country where the rule of law operates, once there is a precedent, you comply. I understand a senior lawyer, the Senate president, when he was told, if this lady goes to court, she will win. He said, that will take time now. Let her go to court. You know that is the language in Nigeria. You know you are wrong. You say, let him go to court, let her go to court. You are not going to use your own money. You are going to use the money of this. It is a height of impunity for a senior lawyer to ignore the judgments of the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court on any given matter. That is what is going on in Abuja. Yesterday, the governor of Kogi State, stop Ododo. No, I won't go that far. They say I should call him Ododo. I call him Ododo as a lawyer. He issued an order, illegal order, that I hereby ban all rallies and meetings. And I also ban convoys of vehicles, believing that Natasha was going to come in a convoy. And the people of Kogi did all of us proud yesterday by showing, and this is the point, a people organized can never be defeated. They gathered in a mammoth crowd, a crowd that the governor could not mobilize in that state, in spite of the threat to arrest anybody who defied the order of the governor. People threw down. And while they were monitoring the roads, this lady came through the sky. You know, they couldn't ban movement of planes and helicopters. So totally shocked and rattled, totally shocked and embarrassed. The government assigned the security forces, please arrest and question this lady for defying the order of the government. I saw here, I will confirm the there's no law in Nigeria that was breached by her yesterday. As a matter of fact, under section 39 and 40 of the Constitution, which guarantee freedom of expression and freedom of association, assembly, she was only enjoying her fundamental rights by working peacefully to her community and meeting with members of her constituents. And with what we saw yesterday, you know, the so-called recall exercise, where they claim they had mobilized 250,000 people in 2 or 3 days. You know, it's a challenge. The people came out on their own. Yes, not be paid. Or did you see anybody distributing money? You could see them dancing. It was a festive mood. But you know what that lady did yesterday? Is to tell the people in Abuja, we all collectively own this country. And none of us must also take that home. Last week, about the same time, one minister in Abuja, I think the FCT minister, was that wicked, asked the body of benchers to go and grab a lawyer. You know, if you want to discipline a lawyer, you will write a petition. He said, don't wait for petition. Just call him, you wrote this, and discipline him. So for them, rule of law, due process, nonsensical. Now it is self-help. You know, currently, and all of us here must please help our people. The Lagos state government is currently demolishing churches occupied by the poor. But when the big people, including those in Banana Island, they call it Banana Republic, when they build without approval, the government will say they are ratifying it. But when it comes to the poor, you demolish. So one of the things we must take out of here is to defend our people. The Dakoni regime built 30,000 housing units for the poor. Lagos, middle level people. 1981, 82, over 40 years ago. One of those buildings has collapsed. Now you will now use the money of the people to build houses for the rich. And ignore and then go and demolish. You go and demolish the houses of the poor. That must stop. What idea I want to take home here? Talking about rule of law. What I title my paper is rule of rulers, not rule of law. Rule of law means all of us are bound by the law. We are treated equally by the law. We must comply with the law, including the government. But that's not like the case in Nigeria. What you now have is rule of ruler, rule of abuse. Whatever they say, nobody must challenge it. Again, I think I want to thank Tommy here. But 3 weeks ago, a youth corps member expressed her views about the president, about the ongoings in the country. They summoned her. They were going to deal with that. Obviously, they will have extended her service. She will let members of his party to the NYC headquarters. They ran away because the guilty are always afraid. Just last week, a student in Asaba School of Nursing was alleged to have sent out, in this age of science and technology, a video recording of the wife of the president, where everybody knows his father now, everybody knows his mother. So why was I calling my mother? But that was an offense. She was already queried, but because of the anger of the youths and Nigerians in the social media, it was the governor of the state who ordered the commissioner of F, go and stop that Bawukun exercise there. And that was how that day was free. The point I'm making therefore, all of us must see injustice to one as injustice to all. When we are gathered on this occasion, as I did say, when we are to bury our comrade and friend, as I'm here, we are not here to celebrate his wealth. No. We are not here to find how many houses he built. We are here to celebrate his consistency, his integrity, and his principles. And it's a challenge to all of us. It's not a question of, yes, we can gather and be money forever. No. What we should do is to decide collectively here today that those things that Yinka stood for, we are going to continue to demand from the government and from the enemies of our people how to reorganize our country. For those of us in Lagos, and we must start this year. They claim that Lagos is the 5th largest economy in Africa. Now, we must start with the appropriation of Lagos state budget. You understand me? All those your local governments and SCDs, SCDA, we must please, when you live here, please go and find out. Can we have a copy of your budget? Let us begin to demand accountability. Whatever they put in the budget, we must ensure that they implement. And those in Abuja, your senators and House of Representatives, in 2024, averagely, if each senator took away 500 million, this apart from their salary, they call it constituency project. That means projects for you. I just told a senior advocate yesterday in the Kenya here, Orewa, when are we going to ask our senator to account? We're going to do a letter. And each of us must also be ready to do that. There are 24 legislators in the House of Reps from Lagos, 40 people in Alausaga. We must start to ask questions. When we learn that our governor has traveled somewhere to attend a party, we must ask questions. You know what I mean? So, and this is what Yinka will have done today. Will Yinka have been keeping quiet? No. Yinka will have been joining issues with the people in Abuja. And that is why we must continue to celebrate Yinka, not once a year, every day. And the only way we can do that is to identify with the masses of our people, to shake off the heavy load that these people have imposed on our people. Please, for those of you in the social media, I beg you, increase, intensify by joining issues with them. They are juggling figures now that things are getting better. Are you not aware? The juggle figure, this is a change rate. They now say oil is coming down to 750. How did you take it? Where did you take it from? They said the dollar, the naira dollar is improving. How? How much was it when you go to power? Our people say, oh, Shabo, to me, so if you cannot improve my life, please leave me where you met me. And therefore, thank our sister again, Joe. Please, you must also make this But this affair must not be once a year. You must have a foundation who can work out the details for Yinka Odumakin. And that foundation must have programs. What Yinka stood for. Happily, I hope Mr. Gbaje is still around. I mean, are you a chief? Mr. Gbaje, please. Our friend Olumide was being polite. Yinka and I, Yinka and Odumakin, I mean, Olumide and others, we had regular debates, even on the way Afenifere is conducting his affairs. What the Afenifere was noted for power more, Baba, is the welfare package, which later became 4 cardinal programs: education for everybody, all our children, access to medical health, Medicare, full employment, the last one, integrated development. Nobody in Afenifere talks about free education for everybody again. So for these organizations to remain relevant, you must go back to the philosophy of our. Today, 20 million of our children are on the street. 20 million. The children of Chinese, even Rwandans, computer in primary school. But our own children are on the street. And we want to make progress. And I think it was also one of the leaders that made the point. If we abandon the children of the poor, they become a danger for our own children in the future. What do you say? The last one I must correct here. There are a group of reactionaries circulating the Ojota video of 2012. I'm sure many of you will have seen it. Yes. And they are now asking very stupidly, where are these people now? So do you want Yinka to come and be demonstrating from his grave? Or breakfast from his grave? Now there's no country in the world where you expect a nonagenarian or naturalgenarian or even septuagenarian to come and lead you. But the danger, the fraud in that photo is that they are the most successful protests in Nigeria after 2012. And for those who want to show that they love Jonathan more than everybody, ask them, where were they in 2010? When the Yaradua Kaba said Jonathan will not become president, Yinka and some of us state protests in Lagos and Abuja at the risk of our lives. After that, the most successful rally ever held in Nigeria since colonial days is the EndSARS protest of 2020. Are you aware? In Lagos, over 1 million people were on the street. And you have protests in New York, London, South Africa, and the rest of them. To the extent that the UN Secretary General had to speak out in favor of the young people in Nigeria. After that, you have had the ASHI protest. You have had end bad governance protests. They don't refer to those also, but they want to go to 2012 to insist.
Very, very good. Interesting there. Hope you listen to that. Now, in everything you could think of now, as far as a country is concerned, anything you could think of today, we have failed. We have failed. Nothing. We can't boast of anything. We can't boast of anything. We had failed as a country. Common Senegal here is the one mocking us now for this state of emergency. When this man declared state of emergency out of rascality, declare a state of emergency, suspend a democratically elected governor and his deputy because he wants to solve problem of insecurity. Today, the insecurity, he has not solved it. Everything you could think of, we failed. Now, judiciary, he said it has been captured. It will be said, state captured. Now, judiciary captured. Very good. Where will you turn to? You turn here, fail. You turn this way, fail. Nothing. Including GDP before this man come into power. Tinubu, we're leading number 1 in Africa. But today, we don't go down. We don't go down. Because one person, the president. You see, just imagine now. Just Senegal here is the one laughing at us now. Say, what's the meaning of that? What kind of democracy are you guys practicing? Listen to everything he said. Yes. And the man, it doesn't bother him. Nothing. I asked him that day, like, all the lawyers that are defending or supporting this state of emergency, as we asked them, which school do they go to, which certificate, which law are they practicing? That everybody, almost all the lawyers in this country has condemned it, that there is no section in that constitution. But go and ask APC lawyers. APC lawyers, they will have it. They will have something to say. On that Tinubu, I said it before, all APC lawyers, all of them, they lost integrity, including the Attorney General. That one now, he lost integrity. There's no more respect because he's supporting evil. All of them. Imagine Attorney General. All three arms of government, zero. They are all answerable to one man. And the other one said, former Senator Elisha Abu said, some of those senators are making tea. boy says some of the senators are making tea for Akpabio. Senators are making tea for Senate President. That have nonsense. Yes, they are all answerable to them. Zero. All these things now, it's not even a problem, it's happening. If they are delivering, they are truly working the country. Now, ask some people now, said it before, Nigeria, for some people now, Nigeria is not on the map. Nigeria is not a country. Of course, it's not a country. It's not on the map. It's not there. A country that failed in everything. So how would it be on the map, on the world map? We are the best thing they know us for now is borrow money. Borrowing money to do what? Everything you could think of. We can't boast of the best quality healthcare in Nigeria. We can't boast of it. The best schools, we can't boast of it. No, not good roads, we can't boast of it. Not electricity, we can't boast of it. What? To even make the matter worse, with all the horrible uncultivated lands we have, we cannot even feed ourselves. We can't. Which country? I don't know. Something is wrong with this country. Something is wrong. Seriously, something is wrong. If this is something that when you say somebody has a problem, issue of this, issue of that, they will say, let's take this person to the church. If it is not what the medical aspect, let's take it spiritual, let's take it to the church. If pastor could heal the person, whatever sickness is facing, or some people who believes in traditional way, they'll take the person to, could be a traditionalist, they'll take them to the person. But now, what is wrong with Nigeria? Because if this is something that physically human beings are not able to solve the problem, physically we have leaders that are not able to solve the problem. Spiritually, we have pastors that are not able to solve the problems. We have traditionalists that are not able to solve the problems. So what is wrong? Who is going to solve the problem? So are we going to continue like this forever, or how? Question. Because if we continue like this, there's no, for you to even say, okay, we are heading somewhere, you need to know where you are going. There's no roadmap. Peter Obi said it. He said, as it is now, we are stranded. We are stranded. The driver himself does not even know where he's driving to. He's tired. That's Tinubu. That's the president. He's the driver of the bus now. He's tired. He's confused. He doesn't know where he's driving to. That's because he doesn't know where he's driving to, taking the passengers to. We are stranded. We are in the middle of nowhere. That's the reason why he left Nigeria to France to say he want to go and do performance appraiser in France, leaving all the 37 states in this country. He now go to Abuja. That shows somebody is confused somewhere. Something is wrong somewhere. Yes. Think about it. The only solution to this country, I think, since all these things that I just mentioned now, they failed, the only solution is disintegration. Just let everybody, let all the regions go. Let people go and solve their problem by themselves. This problem is too much for one person to handle. It's too much. Anyways, to cut this video short, please share this video. And you listen to that common Senegal here, they are laughing at us. The whole country, they are laughing at us. People will be regretting for you being in Nigeria. You are regretting. You will be crying for yourself. Please share this video.